Podcast. I am your host, Arnold Lewis, and today we're going to be talking about how I blew through almost all my money, and this is going to be the start of my wealth journey. This is a new little series that I want to be more real, be more organic, and be more straightforward with you guys when it comes to professional life and finances. Because I'm really, really deep into my finances now in this stage of my career, 12 years in. Been playing the game for a while, and I never really understood money and finances. And I'm by far, let's get this straight up. None of this is financial advice. None of this is me trying to say what you should do, what you should not do. I'm just being real and documenting my journey of building wealth because I finally start to understand what it really means to build wealth as a professional athlete. And it took me, as the title says, like after 9 years playing, I probably won like 5 championships, 7 championships. I think it was at that time. Was it about that time? I was at five minimum. I was at five minimum when it comes to championships, and I looked up and I had $100 in my pocket. I didn't have a car. Didn't have no house. I didn't really have any assets to my name. Nothing of value to my name that I can like sell to earn money. None of that was. I had it. And it was dawning on me because I had finally got a job. I had got another job after that, and I was starting to save the money. And then I had to go to court to pay for some financial situations because my father, who had passed. And when I was trying to get that money, I realized, man, I just spent my whole check just to pay for a lawyer. That's 1 month of my whole check to pay for a lawyer. And at that time, I was just like, I got to do something different. I have to do something different. Like, I have to find different ways to earn money. And it was real for me because at that time, that's when my father had passed, and I'm doing his things because he didn't leave nothing correct. He didn't leave no will. He didn't have the assets that he had. He had built a couple houses. None of that was done correctly. And it was just my wake up moment in life of realizing, dude, you watch your dad build literally hundreds of houses, worked on different projects. He's shown you 25, 30,000 from his job, and he's telling you these things. But one thing he didn't never tell me, he has a business in his name, an LLC. He gets paid as a employer instead of him working. So he had that system figured out. And this is a guy who came from Haiti, went to Bahamas. He never went to college or anything. He just said, you know what, I'm going to learn this trade. I'm going to go to school for it. And I remember when I was like 11, 12, no, I was like 13, 14. I had to highlight his books for him. I would never forget that. Couldn't stand doing it, highlighting his books and finding certain sections. And I remember being in school, like my dad's Haitian. So I remember being in school, and I'm like, in my free time, I'm like, I got to get this done because I just want to be done with it. I'm highlighting this stuff, and my teacher was like, what are you doing? And I'm like, man, I got to do this for my dad or whatever. And he was like, man, you're such a good son. Did you helping your dad out? Now, everybody that has ever been in a Haitian household or has a Haitian father, it wasn't like, it wasn't an option if I wanted to do it. Now, in that moment, I felt great because I realized from someone else's perspective that how much I was helping him because he ended up passing the contractor's license for the whole state. And they say that's like one of the hardest tests to pass to be a contractor. And he passed that, and he didn't go to college, compared to society of what intelligence is. It just showed dedication to what you want to do and how to level up because this is a guy who come from an island and how we get stigmatized for our relevance or our intelligence based on where we come from. But this is a guy who came from Haiti, went to Bahamas, married my mom, moved to America, started his own business, had got the contracting license, built 3 or 4 homes for himself, like really achieve something. And in that moment, I didn't understand it, that I was helping to build him up. But from someone else's perspective, when he was like, hey, you're helping your dad, that's really cool and stuff like that. It did give me a sense of, wow, I'm actually doing something of value to someone else, especially my dad. So it gave me a little extra boost to want to get something done, like to do something for him, or just in general. So he had accomplished a lot in a short time of living. And it just made me understand that, what I need to do, all the stuff that he did is really for naught, because once he passed, look at all the stuff we got to go through. Probate, this. I'm still paying for lawyers. He's passed away 4 years ago. I'm still paying for lawyers. I paid more than lawyers to get the money that he had than what is there. And I say all that to say this is why I'm starting it made me kick into gear of why I need to start focusing on my finances. And I would say one of the biggest things that hit me early on, because it's like you're hit with a wave of emotion and passion, and I'm going to be this generational person in my family who's going to build wealth and change everything. And you're so fired up and you're hyped and you're reading all these books and you're working out crazy and you're so dedicated to just change. And things don't happen right then and there. And that's just the reality that you got to understand. Not for everybody. Like, yes, there's some people, I did 6 months and then I created this business and I was so dedicated and then boom, it happens. It doesn't normally, for most people. For me, it didn't happen like that. And that was a part of the understanding and growing part, because I remember when I started this network and I started just as a podcast, and I remember being so hyped and going through so much, just trying to build it and come up with the structure, and I'm gonna do this. And I got the ebook that I created for it and the video course, and I created, and I said I'm finna sell it, and I'm gonna be in business, I'm gonna sell digital products and stuff, and still have not sold one book. And I started this project 2 years ago, and I have not sold one book. Now I haven't put no ad money behind it, and it's just been, but it's just the realization of what it takes to actually build something, of real value and mean something, because it doesn't always happen quick. I'm still a father. I still have a personal life that I got to deal with, with like dealing with going to court with my father issue and stuff like that, and dealing with, managing my money. I bought a house. I sold a house because I couldn't just deal. It's just so many other things that you have to deal with in life as well. Trying to get this done and do that, and then it's like, dang, I'm not even monetized yet, and I'm not making the money from it, and then I need this. These are just the building blocks that you just gotta fight through. You just gotta fight. I had to fight through that. And then I found trading, and I started trading, then I lost some money in that. And so then I stopped because I didn't have enough money to put into it. And then so I'm investing into my house, lose a house, sell a house, buy another house, lose this house. So it's just money that I'm trying to invest in something to grow something, and this is all just not working. Or is it? I would say that it is working, because then it's like you have to go through the mud, or not even the mud, just through the BS of doing this and that, trying to buy land. I bought land, but the house was too big and it couldn't fit on the land, so I had to buy another piece of the land. And then I got a racist instructor who won't pass my house, so now I have to take my house off the land, or they're gonna be finding me $3,000 just for having my home on my property. So now I gotta pay someone $2,000 just to move it, and then now it's sitting in some lot for $300 a month, and a year's passed, and I still haven't paid, sold it. So now that's over $3,000 that we have sitting there that we can't. That's just eating up. So it's just like you're just. But these are the things that are just normal in someone's life that you have to go through to try to, but I just kept I kept the spirit of just keep working, keep trying to, you got to get in the momentum, because once the momentum comes, because I remember when I first started with the podcast, I used to take 5 hours to record one, record and edit, 5 hours. Edit the clips, chop up some clips. Now they got AI software, thank God. That's helped me save money. The AI software that helped me chop up things and do all that much faster. But it took me 5 hours just to edit one video. 5 hours. Now I'm editing and chopping up videos in like 2-3 minutes. Not 2-3 minutes, 2-3 hours. An hour and a half, two, I can get a video out, edit it, boom, B-roll, this, and that. It's just the momentum that you build. And it's the same thing in your wealth journey. And I just remember, this is my start of my wealth journey. And I'm just pretty much just giving you the prelude of just where we're going and pretty much the background of just where my mind is at in this moment. Because a lot of times, we have a goal and we want to know what the person was thinking in that moment. Like, okay, you're a basketball player. I've been playing professionally, and I've been trying to get guys to understand how important finances are now. I just met a guy the other day, a new player that came in for another team. We're all staying in the same building. He was like, what's something you wish you would have known? Because he's in his second year. And I'm in my 12th year. So I'm 10 years more in the game than him. And he's like, what's the secret? I got to make that. What's the secret? And I was like, you got to take care of your body. I literally just came from the weight room for like an hour before I decided to do this. And you got to know how to manage and invest your money, because it's fast money. It comes fast, but then you're going to have these breaks. You have these down periods. You might, life hits. I've had surgery. COVID happens. Just things happen that just, what in the world? And then you look up and you're like, oh, I thought I was going to get another contract. And then you think and then you ain't got no job. And then you're dealing with the BS while you're here, while you're in the game, late payments and this and that, and emergencies. And you realize, bro, the money that I'm making is not really enough. It's not really enough. And that was the realization that I had. It's not enough. I think at the time I was probably making about $6,000 a month, which is fairly decent. And I'm like, bro, this is not enough. I had to take a trip home for Christmas, bought a flight, rent a car, bought presents, came back, and I'm realizing all the money that I use. And I'm like, bro, I'm using dang near over half the month checks just on, and everybody, well, you make that money, you earn it, to take care of. Yes, but however, there is nothing, it's only coming out. The money is just flowing out. There's nothing reoccurring and growing on top of that. There's nothing building on top of that. That is not a good place to be in with your bread. It's more, there's nothing, it's not coming in fast enough than the water's coming out. The ship is sinking. You're trying to plug each hole with the next check, and then you're off for 3-4 months. And like after that, I was off 3-4 months, and then I had to have surgery. So now you're really out now I'm out for the rest of the year. Where's all, and you ain't got nothing that you're building on top of. So that's where this all stemmed from, and it just took years of just understanding and just building the wealth brick by brick, time after time, contract after contract, month after month. Because in my current state, I sold my house because of all the issues, but then I'm going heavy into investing into stocks. That's my lane, stocks and real estate. I bought some land to build. Got a great deal on that. My mom found it because she's a realtor. She's like, hey, I don't care how much money you have. We need to invest in this. This is a generational steal that we got. We got like mobile home park for like under 50 grand, which is amazing. Me and my aunt pulled some money together and bought the land. So I'm like, okay, now I have something that can create me real wealth, a starting point. But I have to either learn how to raise this money or earn this money. Now, I followed Trap from Trapping Tuesdays. He took $1 million out of the market and he used it to buy a building. That's what I want to do. That is my concept. Use the money from trading, because I trade and invest. I take my money from my check. I take about 30% of it. I put it inside. I think I have a video that I've done already on my plan on how I manage my money. Because that's a huge, huge. If I didn't manage my money correctly, I wouldn't be able to invest my money correctly. If you don't know how to manage your money first, you're not going to be able to correct it. We'll get into all that later. This is just a quick prelude, like I said, of where I'm at, why I am starting this wealth journey, this quest to build generational wealth one brick at a time. And I'm taking you guys along with me. Who wants to be there? Maybe one thing I might say may help you. One thing I say might give you a little tip on what you should be doing. So as of now, currently I could say where I'm at. I don't know what my net worth is at. I wish I could know what it is. I'm just growing it as I go. And I don't want to put too much of my financials, like my personal wealth on there, but I will show my prop firm where I'm at in my prop firm. I recently just passed. I need one of those buttons that I need to get one of those for these. I need to get one of those. But I am just learned how to trade futures. I'm learning how to trade futures. I met a good friend through a friend, and he traded futures, and he kind of gave me some game. And I just bought a course from Ian Dunlap. I'm in Red Panda, and I spent like $5,000, and that was on a discount. It was about 10,000. And everybody goes through their own go through. Like I told the guy that who wanted he wanted me to buy his course, and I was like, I would, but I already have invested in someone else. And that's one thing that I understand a part of the journey. You got to invest in yourself. I spent money on joining groups. I've bought so many books, I can't even imagine. I joined groups where I was paying like $125 a month for a couple months, trying to like learn trading and get into it and try to make some money. Nope. Joined another group. I was paying $50, $60 a month where they give you plays and they tell you what play. And it's crazy. No matter how many times they give you a play, this is one thing you got to understand. Like somebody could give you a play, but they have more money to deal with a loss. The group that I was in with him, he was doing like, he's trading with millions of dollars. I'm starting out trading with 1,000. I need this to hit $500. I'm trading and starting off with my trading. I'm saving up a little 200 out of this check, 200 out of this check. You know what? I'm gonna take a look. I ain't gonna go out. I'm gonna use that money that I would normally go out to get something to eat, and I'm gonna use that to pull together $500 to put in a trade. And that's what I did. And I took from 500 to 1,000. Then I took that 1,000 to 2, and then I lost it all. And then I did it again, and then I saved up money again, and then I did it again. Then I took 1 to 5, and then I was like, okay, let me take some of this out. And now, for me, I know myself. I never want to just see the money just pile up. I like to let it get to a certain mark. Okay, I add to it, and I got to 10,000. Let me take out 5, and I'm gonna put it into my shares because I buy shares first. That's my I use the analogy, you have to build a house. And you as a man especially, but as a basketball player, as just a man in general, how I feel, everybody must build their house. Literally, you have to build your house from the ground up. And what better way to build it on a strong foundation than in an options portfolio through real assets that can grow. And I've just seen my account grow exponentially. So like, for example, I've invested this year. I see my account go for what I invested this year. I don't know the exact number. Let's say I put in 10,000 just in my shares. Did it double from this year? Like if I put in 10,000, it doubled to 20,000. So in my mindset, I'm like, wow, that's an amazing gain on my money that I put here instead of spending it, blowing it, doing dumb stuff with it, trying to invest in other stuff. This is what I continuously put in. And this has netted me and gained 50%. So, when I'm not working or have those months where I go home and I don't have or I'm not getting that basketball check, I'm using that money to like put into my shares. I'm building for 1 month. You don't have a pension, you don't have no retire. What is your retirement? That's what I kept saying. Dang, no basketball player has a retirement. This ain't the league. This ain't the NBA. You have to literally take. You're in charge of everything. You're a sole proprietor. You have your own business. You are in control of everything. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And if I don't step up and start doing it, this is not going to be good for me. So I wanted to, I just want to take you guys along the journey with me. This is the beginning of a great moment in my life where I get to build something that will last 5 generations. That's what my soul cries out. Build something that lasts for 5 generations. What's a generation is like 30 years. So after me, 150 years, my family, I have something that could stand for 5 generations. And then you know what? Someone has to take on the torch. I'm giving y'all a head start. I want to be that guy in my family who's given the head start that we all need. Like we need someone, like it's tough. Let's be real, it's freaking tough, but ain't nobody got the cuz or the uncle or someone to say, you know what? I'm gonna invest in you 100,000 and it don't work out and it's okay. And I'll invest into you another 250,000 because I believe in you. And you know what? You come from me, from our bloodline. I see you, I know you. You have the ambition, but you don't have the person to back you. And how many of us fall short of someone to back us up? Because, no one took that first step to building wealth. You need that wealth. And hey, somebody need that big cuz. Somebody need that ump. And that's going to be me. And if that's you, then we could go on this trip together, bro. Or sis, or cuz, or whatever. But this is the start of the wealth building journey. And we're going to go through it. I will show you guys right before I end. I don't know, you might not get it on the audio version, but I do want to show, I will show where I'm at. So year to date, wow. Year to date, I am down $533 on my Robinhood account. Now, I will say this. If you see right here, this October 20th, it just went down. I was up right here, $7,000. I was up $7,000. In the last month, because the market completely took a turn in November, and if you know the market, the last month, it has lost $7,000 because the market has just been on the complete decline. But that is okay because once you know the game, you know when it's down, that's when you buy. And the reason this is, now, this is what I want you to understand as well. That's part of this. Before, when I was at home, I went home for 2 months after my last season, I took money out as I needed. So it's not showing the money that I take out or make because I'll take out $1,000. I'm in a play. The play makes another $1,000 and makes all the money back literally in a day. I seen that's happened. I said, okay, I need about $2,000. I'm in a couple plays. The plays make $2,000 within that week. So now I'm back up. So then I take out the money that I need. The plays run up, make some money. Maybe might lose some money. It's fluctuating. It's doing that. Go up. I take out what I need. So since I found futures, I decided to start a whole different path. Because I used to trade, I started off trading options. I have a strategy for options, and I'm learning that, it doesn't really do good in down markets. In up markets, when the market is going up, it does really well. In down markets, it's not really good to be in these plays. And I did take a play on Meta. If you know Meta, it was supposed to beat earnings. It missed by 1, and it just completely tanked, and that about wiped me out. It about wiped me out. But that's okay, because we're going to bounce back. I'm going to show you where we're at now. This is going to be my long-term options. I want you to, if one thing I could say that I learned is long-term, you got to be patient enough to build the money. You have to be patient to build the money. Every time I try to get it fast, it don't last. You have to be patient to build the money. You have to be patient to wait for your setup. You got to be patient to wait for your execution. You got to be patient for things to work out. The biggest part of this game is patience in everything. Keep working, keep studying, keep doing all the extra stuff that you need to do, building the business, but you have to have patience. Like, okay, so we're starting from 3,265. Now I have one play in Robinhood that is until March 2027. And that's how we're going to do these plays. We're going to do these plays for long periods of time. We're going to wait till wait till a great price to buy. Right now, if you're watching this, anything you buy right now and you would just buy it for 1 year, you're going to be amazed. You're going to be ecstatic. You're going to be ecstatic. Now, my goal, we're going to have our goals. My goals, I don't know if you're not on the audio, you can't see it. But these are the options that I want to buy. I'm giving y'all a little insight on what I'm buying. These are the options that I want to buy. These are on my wish list of watch list that I'm going to buy. And they're all for until 2027. The goal is to get it in the long term. They're all on discount. I've researched all of these. I've looked at the prices on where to get in on all of these. These are just my personal picks on what I'm doing. If you want to, the Ionic Q, I'm waiting for that to get to innocent order. Or if I had the money, I would buy it right now. So, and I'm also trading futures. I have a funded account. I'm using that funded account on Top Step. It's my first time using it. And boy, I'm almost close to a payout. I have goals or achievements, I would say. I like to say achievements of what I want to do. Whatever you have that you want to do, you got to write it down. You have to write it down. Once you write it down, it will start just manifesting. Like I take my goals for the end of the year. Put a little pressure on yourself, That means you have to get everything done, but put a pressure on yourself to get something done. On my lock screen, I just have a checklist, you can't see it, of my goals. That's it. That's all I need to see every single day. And on my home screen, I have a checklist for all of my goals. I'm trying to sign into my other computer. Y'all don't recognize me with the hat on, shawty? So I can go to I'm on my Top Step account. Account balance is around $4,000, $4,000. I don't know if I should be telling y'all how much I make on here, but y'all don't know how it works. It's a prop firm. So my goal is to make money here, put it into the longer term options for 2 years, or however long, a year and a half, and then take that money and use it to buy shares. That's pretty much my wealth strategy. Take that money from the options, make more money from it because I leave it in there a longer time at great prices. Take that money, put it into my land where I'm building my mobile home park, and fund my business, my digital marketing business. Y'all can help me with that too. There will be a book you can buy. Make sure you get the video breakdown in it, audio book that comes with it. I have a fire commentary about each step in the book. It's a quick ebook. Definitely gets you started on your game, especially getting to the overseas life so you can use the money and the time to start building your wealth as well. But you got to be able to understand the overseas basketball part. You got to secure something first. I would not be able to do all this with trading and building a bit if I didn't have basketball down first. If I didn't understand what it took to be a pro for this long and survive for this long, so I can work on these other things. But because if you think about it, if you're sitting at home all the time, or you're at I live in Florida, you're working all the time. You have 8-9 hours of whatever job. When I worked at Walmart, I remember I worked the first shift. That was 4 to 11. I had to be in bed by 8. You're not trying to be working on no other stuff. It's just I wasn't. I'm just being real. That was not on my thought my mind when I got home at 2 or 3 was to go and immediately start. How can I build this wealth and do this and do that? No. But if you're a pro basketball player, like today, I got 2 days off. Let me execute and actually make something and work on this. Thank God I've understood the game of basketball and I built myself up to a point to where I know, okay, I know for 100% fact, I ain't gonna say 100% fact, but I can go for another 4 years. I'm about to be 36. I can go till I'm 40 easily. And based on how I feel now, that's still not gonna mean nothing. But minimum, let's see how we'll reevaluate at the age of 40. I'm 35. I'm about to be 36 in January 1st. So we will evaluate at 40 where we're at. And if we want to pivot to do other things, how the network has grown, where I'm at, we'll pivot from there. But the point is to get to a point where you don't need the money. You just love the freedom and the time and then love the competition, and you get paid for it. That's why you see most all athletes, LeBron, Tony Parker. Shout out to Bullock. This man took his like people. Reggie Bullock, I think his name. People don't even remember these guys, and they're in the league, and you don't even think about them. This guy bought an island and made a resort on an island with his money. Yeah, he played in the NBA, but he managed his money correctly and created something where he has a resort and bought his own island and made it into a resort. That's what I want to do. That's the type of mindset you must have. And that's where it's all, but it's all starting from one point. And mine's, this is where I'm starting, and I just want to bring you guys along for the ride. So the goal with the top step with my funded account, write down your goals. It's the 1 day, I don't know if this account could do 10 accounts at one time. However, it's to have 5 accounts minimum. And what does that mean? When you have 5 accounts, like say I have in this account, if I make $1,000 on this account and I have 3, right now I can get 3 accounts and I have 3 accounts. If you make 1,000 in one, it basically copies everything you do. So if you made $1,000 in one account, you've made technically $3,000 because you made it in 2 other accounts because you're doing the exact same thing. And it's like, that's how you multiply your money faster. So that's why I'm learning futures, because it will exponentially give you, I don't have to be in the market worrying about, I just know, okay, I see my setup, I don't see my setup, no trade today. I don't have to trade every day. But when I do trade, if I say one trade for the week and I'm hit for $2,000, I'm chilling. I'm chilling. I have 3 accounts, that's $6,000 in 1 week. If you could do that once a week, imagine where you would be at. Now you're taking that, putting them in the long term. You're turning that 6 into 60 over a year, and you're taking that 60 and you're putting it into shares of great companies, and you're putting it into other assets. Like I said in the beginning of this, I didn't focus on assets. I didn't focus on assets in my early pro career. After 9 years, I didn't focus on assets. Now my entire mindset is asset-based business, real estate, stocks, options, trading. Like, this is my life right now. And this is a big part of my life. And I love just the whole wealth journey and the wealth process and building wealth and looking at the charts, because I found a passion in it, because it's just like basketball to me. You got to put in the reps. And I love working out every day. Like, we're off for 2 days. I just came out from the gym and I just worked out for an hour, just repping in sets, because it's just a part of who I am. No one gets to see that unless I post it or whatever. And it's just, you have to have that type of, I don't care. I've blew accounts. I've blown accounts, 2, 3 accounts, trying to understand it. You're going to go through it doesn't matter what happens when you get hit. It's how do you respond to it? In your wealth journey, you're going to get just plastered at times. You're just going to get absolutely devastated, destroyed. I remember one of the most devastating moments that I had. It wasn't the most devastating. I'm not say devastating, but it hit me to my core. I was like, I had about 4,000 saved up inside my regular, my house, my house I was building. I think I was up to like $4,000 in my regular portfolio. I was finally building a little bit. I'm like, that's nice. Getting the 4 out. I'm like, yes. And then my car broke down. And I wasn't working. I didn't have a basketball job, and I needed to go work and do these odd jobs. And my car needed to be fixed, and I didn't have enough money. And the only money I had was my portfolio, my stocks portfolio, and I had to sell probably like $2,500. So I only had like $1,200 left, and I was devastated because it's like I knew I was taking away from the money that is for my future. You know, I'm purposely destroying a piece of my house, and I said, I will not ever sell my stock like that ever again. I will do whatever it takes to not do that, because there's a goal I'm trying to reach. My goal is not to sell it, but to just continuously grow it. Now, there's a point where I was selling, take profit to reinvest it back into more shares of other things. That's what I would do in selling, but not selling to, oh, let me put it in my pocket to go blow. I have other means of income for that. But this is a part of the 5 generations. I have to just build. And I can't be, oh, let me do this. That will come. This has to be like your world. It has to be built. Rome, your Rome. You have to build this. Your Rome has to be built. And it's going to take, you can't be dipping your hand in there, taking the money out, because I'm up 50% and I made $2,000-$3,000. So I'm going to take that and go, blase. No, that's not the goal. The goal is 5 generations. Can you build something that lasts for 5 generations that'll take care of your family for the next 5 generations? Is that where your mind is at? You can't be dipping in there and taking that bread, because you're taking away from yourself. You breaking down your own house. You breaking down your own empire. You breaking down your own empire. And it hit me so hard I had to sell my shares to fix my car. I said, I'll never do that again. I'll take out a loan. I'll go borrow money. I'll go hustle, but I'm not touching this portfolio ever again. I'm only adding to it. I'm not doing that again. So this is my wealth journey. I hope to see you guys along the road. I'm going to be updating you as much as possible wherever I'm at, plays, trades I take, money, where the money has grown, what's it looking like, a quick check-in. I hope to see you guys along the journey, and I hope you guys can get something from it. Man, that's all I got for this segment today. I'm out, man.